my spreadsheet with my career counselor, I got some good tips, and he was able to keep me accountable with it. That's a great resource. The graduate school at NC State, since you're an NC State student, you have connections here. Talk to those connections. You could even, you mentioned you're interested in the data analytics program here, the Master's in Data Analytics program. You could talk to anyone at that program to learn more about what does it take for me to get accepted, or in whatever grad school, like you're just going to NC State because it's available. You can always go to your professors. They went to grad school. They have a PhD, right? Most of them, right? They are great resources, and they can also be great for a recommendation letter later on. Especially if you're expressing interest in grad school, and you're talking to them about research, and you're talking to them about trying to find opportunities, they'll be able to get your passion, they'll be able to get your world of experience, right? Students who have applied, so any NC State grad who are applying to other grad schools, like if you're someone who might be interested in applying to grad school, talk to Will, if you, right? Or another friend of yours who applied to grad school. They're great people to talk to, and he has a world of experiences by going through the process that you probably couldn't get anywhere else than from the people that did it recently, right? And also the faculty at the potential grad schools. And I would even say even the students who are there now. So you can talk to faculty, learn more about the program, learn more about what's available there, how great it is, and what kind of vibes you get there. They might give you one response, and when you talk to grad students there, they'll probably give you the more honest, here's really how it is. And I remember a friend of mine who was interested in going to grad school in math, and he called up someone who was at a grad school in the place he was interested in. I think it was Princeton. And he got the world of like how competitive it was, and that really turned him off. And if he didn't get the world of it, I think there was a story about how he tried to find a research paper, and there was a book in the library with the one page he needed ripped out, and he couldn't use it for his paper. So that was just a random story. I hope it doesn't discourage anyone. But he just got the world of how competitive it was, and he learned that by just talking to a student there then. They are great resources, and you can just go to their website. All the grad students' contact info are there, even the grad students here.
Yeah,
Right.
I want to touch on a personal story of mine. So I'm headed to the University of Bristol, right? And there was a lecturer who came, like a visiting lecturer who came to our department to give a lecture, and he was from the University of Bristol, and he takes students from my program. So just the stars aligned just right, and he came. And then he connected me with one of his students who was in the program that I'm going to be in, and I talked to both the professor and the student and learned so much about the program, about the culture there, and now I'm really excited because they were really excited. So there's a lot to be said about talking to people.
Yeah. Any other questions?
I was
Yeah,
just
we'll take that.
I was going to add a thought to that, is that with the career fairs that are scheduled on campus, there are employers there who you could ask might be the advantage of getting an advanced degree, getting a master's. What kind of work could I do for the company with a master's degree? To kind of work it backwards. What am I working toward? What kind of job might it lead me to? And is that something that is exciting to you, or perhaps not?
Yeah, absolutely. You're really looking for information about what graduate program will get you to the career goal the fastest. And I want to add a story to that. I was interested in education at the end of last semester, and I got connected with someone at the vet school here at NC State who does psychometrics, or psychological education, or educational psychology is what it's called. That's the degree plan. And they do stuff about metrics of how people learn and how do we measure that. I thought that was really cool. As someone who wants to reform math education, how do I tell that people aren't learning? Is what I'm doing, right? And I got to have an informational interview with them. We've been kind of touching on that in previous launches about where you're networking with people. And I got to talk to them about what I can do with that degree that they have. And one insight I learned is that by having a PhD in psychometrics, I'm typically specializing myself in a particular industry, and it doesn't leave me with as many options. But if I were to get a master's in measurement and analysis, then I could be going into almost any industry and do evaluation, whether it's about programs, whether it's about people, anything of the sort. And I wouldn't have learned that without contacting someone. So that's a great point. And they have a lot of different opportunities on campus throughout the year where you're talking, or having opportunities to talk to grad students. Panels. Actually just did one in the math department last week, right? Where we had 2 people who just went straight to work and 2 people who went to master's degrees. And that was just available. Yeah. Any other questions?
Okay, so now I'm going to ask you to all pull your phones out real fast. And then if you've been to other launches, I'm sure you know how it works, but we just ask that you do this as part of the program for coming in. You can use your Snapchat and zoom in and like hold down the screen on the QR reader, type in the link. And this is just to give feedback on this presentation and on our presenting. And then I do also want to mention while you're doing that there are career ambassador positions. So if you want to be up here doing what we're doing, the deadline is tomorrow at midnight.
And I just want to add to that too, like, it's my 4th semester being career ambassador, and I just gained a world of experiences that I could have won by doing it. I don't think I've ever had a real job until, I guess, being a volunteer as a career ambassador, and that really just gave me what I felt like I needed to call myself a professional.
I mean, you talked about how you kind of like narrowed in on like wanting to be a teacher or
Yeah.
educator because you had the opportunity to talk to people, right?
Oh yeah.
So,
And there are many perks to being a career ambassador that you might not realize. You learn about everything that we're presenting here. A guy found me on LinkedIn a few weeks ago and told me to apply for a job because he was a career ambassador at App,
Oh my God.
and that's a job in California. So there's career ambassadors all over the country, so it's good that way.
all right, so we'll give you a few minutes to fill that out. We will now take questions. If you guys have any.
Keep pondering.
Okay, so that concludes our presentation. If you've done your survey, you are free to go. But we will be up here to take any like individual questions today. Thank you all for coming today.
Also, feel free to come get some candy.
Nice job.